Hi there, hello, welcome once again to reading Machiavelli's Discourses. Today we're doing chapter 41, which is going to be a short chapter because it's not that long compared to last chapter. The chapter is to leap from humanity to pride, from mercy to cruelty, without due degree is something imprudent or less. In other words, this move from one thing. Now he's going to go look at the example of Appius, who was one of the leading of the Decemvirs, the 10 who kind of created a tyranny in Rome that he dealt with in the last chapter, 40. Among the other means badly used by Appius to maintain his tyranny, it was of no little amount to leap too quickly from one quality to another. In other words, he went from being someone who despised the people to being loved by the people. In other words, he went from one thing to another. So therefore, for his astuteness in deceiving the plebs, pretending to be a man of the people was well used. Also well used were the means he adopted so that the 10 would have to be remade. In other words, that by spreading out the rumor about maybe there should be more than maybe 12 bills, not 10, right? Remade. Also well used was the audacity of creating himself against the opinion of the nobility, right? He nominating himself. Creating partners to his purpose was also well used. In other words, he didn't do it by himself; he did it with others. So all these things, these were kind of interesting, well done things. But it was not at all well used when he had done this, as I said above, to change his nature to a nature of change the nature of a sudden, from a friend of the plebs, shows himself an enemy. In other words, he went from that. He went from being a friend of the plebs to their enemy, from humane to proud, right? From agreeable to difficult, right? Again, this is all through Livy 3. Livy 3, verses 567. So, in other words, he did all these things. He moved from one to the other. He moved from a friend of the plebs to the enemy of them, from humane to proud, from agreeable to difficult, and to do it so quickly without any excuse. Every man had to know the falsity of his spirit. In other words, there's no ration. The shift was so without any justification that it was that his earlier position was clearly shown to be false. For whoever has appeared good for a time and wishes for his purposes to become wicked ought to do it by due degrees, and to conduct himself with opportunities, so that before your different nature takes away your old favor from you, it has given you so much new that you do not come to diminish your authority. Otherwise, finding yourself wholly uncovered and without friends, you are ruined. So in other words, what is he saying here? It's a very interesting point. He's saying that if you're gonna make this shift to these things, you should do it gradually, not quickly. You should do it. Why? Because you in other words, become bad. Have it so that you become bad by due degrees over time. Not immediately, not so quickly. Because why? Because by conducting yourself and conduct yourself with opportunities, so that before your different nature takes away all the goodwill that you've gotten before, when you were their friend and you were humane and you were agreeable, And it looks like that, by doing it so quickly, it looks like it was a con job. It was a con job. It wasn't real. And because you were not real, and that you don't have the authority now. You have no authority that you have. All the goodwill and all the things that you had before that in their support now of that is gone, and you have no friends. You find yourself uncovered and without friends, and this you are ruined. Again, so this is the thing that you have to be more. In other words, you have to be more prudent about this. This is the thing. This is the imprudence of Appius, in a sense. The Appius is he reveals his true intention too quickly, and therefore it was. And if he was more patient, and if he was able to play the game longer, he would have been more successful in that sense. Why? He could have, in other words, if you're going to do what he did, you should not. First of all, you should not have had. The earlier chapter was that you shouldn't really have the people against you. You shouldn't rely on the great, and if you're going to propose tyranny, having the people on here, and that's the juxt of what was said there, and it echoes the lesson of the prince. But here, this is saying is you're going to switch over like this. You have to do it with more care, because if it's too quick, it tears it undoes the good that you had, and you're left alone, and you have no authority, and you're ruined in that sense. Well, this is going to be a short video because this is nothing else this chapter hits on. It sums up what happened in the previous thing. So if you have any comments, questions, or things, please please put them below, and I will respond to them in this thing. And if you have any comments and difficulties of these things, another thing you can do is, if you liked it, hit like button. Also, if you liked it, share it on your social media, share it far and wide. Doing any of these three things, you help increase the algorithm. As also, if you've not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Again, the only thing subscription does is get you the notifications of videos. But check out, have your friends come, and also it helps me and the viability of the active subscribers, and this it only helps the attraction of the YouTube algorithm. So again, all these things you do help the algorithm. Now, things you can, if you have a problem and you have an objection, you want to thumbs down it, but say why in the comments. Explain it so people can learn from it. Okay, now you can follow me on social media, links below. If you want to know more about me as a scholar and a researcher and check out my academic writing, you can do so below the academic social media, below the social media links. And if you want to help me to do what I do, support this a little bit financially, you can do so through Subscribe to our Patreon, or in lieu of that, buying one of my books that you can order through your books. The currently available books are listed below. You can go through either a bookstore, order at your local bookstore, of course. Always support your local merchants. But if they can't access it and they're not that willing to order books for you, you can order it through an online distributor like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and things like that, Libris. Or you can order it directly through the publishers themselves. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. And we'll look at 42 next time we meet. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good day.